tidal wave destroying an island. Yes, that is it. Are there any details? 1,000. Really? When this afternoon? I mean, exactly what time? Thank you. He put the phone down and turned to his assistant. Miss Walker. Tatoa was destroyed at 3:17 this afternoon. Is that bad? She asked. Last week, Santa Barbara was hit by an earthquake, the doctor said, his mind racing. I am not taking any chances. Oh my God, the landlady. She will destroy it. Get Mr. Witherspoon released immediately. Drive him home. You personally as fast as you can. He rushed back to the apartment, desperate to see if any of the items had been moved, if the balance had been disturbed. He found Mrs. Milligan, who was already preparing to clear out the junk. Don't touch the thing, the doctor shouted, breathless. You did not, did you? You have not touched anything or moved anything. Not yet, she replied. Why? Because this is the creation of a disordered mind, the doctor said, though he was no longer sure what that meant. And by studying it, analyzing it just exactly as he left it, I can come to a deeper insight into Mr. Witherspoon's problem. He is a loony, Mrs. Milligan insisted. What else do you have to know? No, the doctor said, his eyes fixed on the assembly. It is not that simple. I cannot rent this place with garbage in it. All right, I will rent it, the doctor decided, an impulsive resolve taking hold of him. You? Yes. I will give you double what you are getting. I will be up later with the check, the doctor said, taking the responsibility upon himself. By the time he secured the apartment, he found Edgar, who had escaped the hospital and returned to his sanctuary. Mr. Witherspoon, the doctor called out, catching him just in time. Should I call the cops? Edgar asked, looking at the doctor with a confused expression. No. Everything is going to be fine. You got a handkerchief? Oh yes, right away, the doctor said, handing one over. Thanks. That lady had me dressed so fast. I left mine behind. Mr. Witherspoon, I do not know how to begin to apologize, the doctor said, his voice thick with emotion. Nothing in my training had prepared me for a case like yours. Well, nice meeting you, Edgar said, preparing to leave. Where are you going? Away, finally, after 11 years, Edgar replied with a smile. The voice spoke to me while I was in your hospital. It said, Edgar, have you ever been to Miami? I said no, but I used to think it would be a nice place to retire. Go for it, the voice said. You are off duty? The doctor asked, realizing the magnitude of the transition. You mean all this is not necessary anymore? Edgar asked. Sure it is. It is absolutely essential. The world still has to be kept in balance. So who is going to? And look, it needs adjusting already. That is it. Now, if I can just get a ping-pong ball in there by 7:13. The doctor stood amidst the junk, the silence of the apartment feeling suddenly vast and significant. Well, I guess we solved that little problem, Edgar said, walking towards the door. I would get cracking if I were you. Impossible, the doctor said, shaking his head. I refuse. Jeremy, really, you will grow to like it. Give it a chance. So long. Do not take any wooden nickels. Unless you really need them, of course. The doctor watched Edgar leave. The man stepping out into the world he had spent 11 years protecting. Now free to find his own peace. The apartment was quiet, save for the hum of the strange machine. Mr. Witherspoon, the doctor called after him, but it was too late. The man was gone. The doctor looked at the machine. He looked at the note he had scribbled. The frantic requirements of the universe laid bare before him. He saw the need for a tambourine. He saw the need for a ping-pong ball. No, a tambourine. I have to find a tambourine right away, the doctor whispered to himself. Can you help me? Do you know where I can find a tambourine? He realized then that the role of the custodian was not one of insanity, but of a profound, hidden responsibility. It was a practice that extended to the well-being of the entire planet. As the doctor walked out into the streets, his eyes scanned the gutters, the trash cans, and the refuse of the city, not with the judgment of a psychiatrist, but with the focused, searching gaze of a man who now understood that the world is a fragile, beautiful, and sometimes chaotic thing that needs a little bit of help to keep it from falling apart. If, in the next few months, the world seemed to stay on its axis, if the storms subsided, and the minor calamities of life seemed to pass by with a gentle touch, perhaps it was because a new set of hands was at work. A physician, who once sought to cure the mind, had found a new, higher calling, a preventative medicine that ensured the very stability of reality itself. And so, Dr. Jeremy Sinclair, in the quiet, dusty corners of his new life, began to learn the delicate art of keeping the world in balance, one piece of discarded treasure at a time. It was a life of purpose, of silent service, and of a strange, enduring hope. The twilight zone of his old life had faded, replaced by the enduring, vital reality of his new mission, where every lost item had a place, and every small adjustment mattered in the grand, unfolding story of the world. Mrs. Milligan was a woman whose life had been measured out in rent checks and leaky faucets, but lately, it was being measured in the increasingly erratic behaviors of a tenant who defied all conventional logic. She sat across from Dr. Jeremy Sinclair, a man whose calm demeanor was usually enough to soothe the most frayed nerves, though today he looked as though he might need some soothing himself. "He is crazy," Mrs. Milligan said, her voice trembling with a mix of frustration and genuine concern. "That is what he is. A loony, a nutcase, a genuine wacko. Uncle Edgar is always looking for things." Dr. Sinclair adjusted his glasses, leaning forward. "When you say he is looking for things, what exactly do you mean? Things like 3 paper clips or a chrome coat hanger," she continued, ticking them off on her fingers. "Or 1 patent leather tap shoe. He rummages through trash cans. He goes to garbage dumps. He is always bothering my other tenants. One day it is bicycle spokes. Then it is baseball cards. And who do the tenants complain to? Yours truly. He will not let anybody into his apartment. Not even his own niece. All that junk he is collecting, it is a fire trap. He could hurt himself. And other people. Namely me. He needs your help." Jeremy took a mental note. The accumulation of seemingly disparate objects was often a symptom, but the specificity was unusual. Yesterday, she added, he wanted a yo-yo. By 6 o'clock. And last week, pieces of broken dolls. Heads, arms, legs. "Please do something, doctor. Please, for his sake. And ours, of course." "His bell does not work." "I see," Jeremy said. "I will look into it, Mrs. Milligan. Thank you for bringing this to my attention." The journey to the apartment was short, but the anticipation was heavy. Upon arriving at the building, Jeremy navigated the dim hallway. The air smelled of old dust and distant cooking. He approached the door where the bell was conspicuously absent. "Ah, Mrs. Milligan. I think he has disconnected it," Jeremy mused to himself, peering at the wires. "Down there in the basement." He turned as a man approached him, seemingly oblivious to the doctor, clutching a piece of brass. "Oh, thank you. Thanks anyway, Mr. Pilchick. But I already found a brass thimble." Jeremy cleared his throat, stepping into the man's line of sight. "You are not Mr. Pilchick. I am Dr. Jeremy Sinclair. May I talk to you, Mr. Pilchick?" The man blinked, looking through Jeremy rather than at him. "Some other time, perhaps. I have to look for a doll's head." He turned away, leaving Jeremy standing in the hallway. It was a scene he had witnessed many times before, in a way, one old man, lost in a private world of irrational urgencies. To Dr. Jeremy Sinclair, it was an all too common sight. But Edgar Witherspoon was a most uncommon old man, possessing a secret that reached out to the 4 corners of the earth. A secret the good doctor was about to discover. Jeremy knocked again, persistent. Edgar opened the door a crack, his eyes darting around. "Your niece. She worries about you. She is a very nice woman, so tell her not to worry."